My absolute favorite mold in the deluxe series of Transformers toys in the more recent past has been the Age of Extinction Evasion mode Optimus Prime. So I was pleasantly surprised, that's understating it, when I found out they were going to make an oversized version of the figure. And not only that, but the makers was the company Wei Jiang, which you may recognize as the creators of the oversized MP10 Optimus Prime. From what I've seen in reviews and having the figure myself, the MP10 surpasses the Takara or the Hasbro version in virtually every single way. So when you get a company like that who not only takes the time to upscale a figure, but to make improvements on the proportions and the detailing, the Evasion mode Optimus Prime was a no-brainer for me. The day I found out, I ran out and got it within minutes of finding out it was in existence, and I lucked out and it came yesterday. And what you see before you is the box it came in. Now, some of you may have seen the Chinese reviews that show the shipping box having another layer on top of it. Mine came in a styrofoam container, which I think is much better than the cardboard box that can come as an extra outer shell, only because it provides padding that the cardboard box doesn't seem to do. It's a very nice box, you can see here, with Wei Jiang in the top corner, M01 Commander in the bottom right. The picture is apparently painted. It makes me believe that, hey, this is a quality figure. And, I know there's a lot of talk about if it's a bootleg, it's a bootleg. If it's KO, it's KO, and that diminishes the original in some way. But I really do believe to some degree that there was a lot of pride that was taken in this work. There's even a signature here, as you can see. I'm not sure whose signature it is, but I want to say the bottom where it looks like Apple, but not completely sure. I'm sure someone out there knows. And you can also see too that the print is a bit of a gloss. It's not the same matte as the background, and even the words here at the bottom have a bit of a shine to them, like I don't know, just kind of like those stickers you used to see when you were a kid. But it's a really well done box. Side there you can see a picture of the Prime, and in the back more details in Chinese, no real English to be found other than the title. But if you love this mold like I do, this was definitely no-brainer. These pictures just really don't do the figure justice in a lot of ways. This side there is no picture, just the title. But yeah, that's a pretty decent box, and I was pretty happy that the box came in pretty good condition as well. I'm kind of a box nut. Try not to be, but can't help it. And in this case, it's a nice display piece also, right? Okay, so let's move on to the figure. All right, there he is. Well, like I said, from the box, really nice pictures, but the display piece itself is just absolutely amazing. Just to give you a little bit of reference, this is the original, and he's a pretty good figure in his own right. And I was really amazed by the fact that they basically got what was a Bay former, Michael Bay in his movies, and the new version of Optimus Prime, and basically made it so that they had what was sort of the longer nose truck version, able to transform into the G1 semi mode that we've all grown up and loved from the original Transformers series. That to me was amazing, and I've always thought that the design in the movies for Prime was pretty good, even though quite frankly I've greatly disliked the movies. To me, having Peter Cullen's voice on it, it really sold the figure, and I've really bought into the fact that, you know, this is Prime and not just another version of Prime, and that was huge for me. But this one's a little bit different than what you might have seen with other Voyager Primes, only because I've done a little bit of paint on it myself. But you can see, you know, what they came from and basically what they went to, right? And it's a pretty dramatic upgrade. Really quickly on the accessories that he came with. This is the head, alternate head, which I think is great. The Voyager version only ever came with this face as default, or at least the versions that I have. I know there are other versions that have the mask, but this is the version that I'm not overly fond of, only because the mask is much cooler. But you can see here that, you know, there's a hole in the back. If you want to attach it to your Evasion Oversized Prime, you have to unscrew the current one through the back of the head and then put this one on, so it's not one of those easy to swap faces. But you know, you can also see too that the eye holes are they don't have eyes. I guess if I took it off, I imagine the eyes are on the figure itself and not part of the figure. I'm sorry, the extra head, that is. Okay, so, you know, pretty nice, and the details is really great, and it's very sharp. There really don't appear to be any paint issues, and, you know, Wei Jiang has really shown that, you know, their paint apps are top notch, and I wouldn't have expected any less. So really nice piece. He also comes with two of these. I'm gonna go just call him a sword, just because I don't know if it has a proper name, but this is really well detailed as well. I really like the plastic that they've used, just because it looks really high quality. It's very smooth and transparent, in a way that, you know, really sort of feels high quality to me, right? It doesn't feel cheap. It's not cloudy anyway. It's very nice, and the detail is excellent. You even have some of the, I don't know, Cybertronian language on it. Super cool. And of course, it comes with two. You can see him holding the other one. Then there's the battle axe. Interesting thing I saw in the original videos and some of the pictures I saw was that, you know, they sort of oversprayed the paint in these spaces. I don't know if they intend to do that on purpose or if that's a design choice. I can only imagine it is a design choice and done on purpose, and that they weren't purposely trying to stay in line. I'm not sure what the effect was, only because it breaks apart right here and here, a little odd. It doesn't really detract from the quality of the mold or the production of the piece in any way, I don't think, but not exactly sure what they were trying to do with that paint application. Okay, it's pretty thin on the edges, and I think the way his hand works, it allows it to fit in his hand in the way the spacing is made, but there is this sort of larger bottom piece there as well. Okay, and it is one big piece. It doesn't come apart in any way, but also, you know, very nice plastic, very nice detail. All right, and then there's the shield. So shield is on him now. I'll just kind of angle it up. Maybe you can see it that way. Again, beautiful piece. I think it's the piece he was holding in a previous movie when he was fighting Shockwave. I'm not sure, but really nice piece. Really makes him look like a warrior, if you will, right? This piece itself does have joining on it. Let me see if I can show you here. It fits in his hand. It's got that that nub that you see in the weapons these days. You know, I'm still on the fence about whether or not I even really like these kinds of nubs. In some ways, they're good when they fit really well, and in this case, it does in his hand. But in a lot of other figures I've seen, it causes a lot of problems and a lot of frustration trying to get figures to hold it right. But you can also see it's on a swing joint, so this actually allows it to get quite a good amount of posability, which I really like. You can basically get him to hold his shield in almost any position you want because of that, along with the articulation of his hands. So it's pretty neat, and it displays very well. All right. So that's his accessories in a nutshell.